I'm Aroha, and I would like to ask you some questions about your assembly.
Okay.
Question 1. What is your assembly about?
Our assembly is about the festivals that happen all around the world at this time of year.
Was it hard to think of what to do the assembly on?
No, not really. It was actually more difficult deciding which one not to do. We had lots of ideas, but this one coincided with Halloween and the end of October, so we thought we'd look at festivals.
Is it hard for students to learn their words?
It's hard for some students to learn their words, yes.
Do you think that other kids in the school would like 4.1 assembly?
I think so, because the children themselves wrote their stories that are going to be told in the assembly, and I think all students like assemblies anyway, just to find out what each other have been doing in class. So yes, I think they will like it, yeah.
Is the assembly in a formative assembly or show?
It's an informative assembly because we haven't really got skits going on or songs and things like that, but we are telling stories, scary stories, so hopefully they will like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Aroha reporting from the ISS News Crew back to the studio. Our Action as Service Celebrations Committee has made a 3-year plan for our celebrations.
Now we have an interview with Mr. Pinchbeck about the three-way conference.
Hi, my name is Earl, and today we're going to interview Mr. Pinchbeck for the ISS News Crew. Why is it called three-way conference, and why do we need it?
It's a three-way conference because it's a three-way conversation between the student, the teacher, and the student's family. So all of you are involved in trying to help the student to learn better.
Do three-way conference only happen on ISS?
No, three-way conferences happen in many other schools. Certainly happens in all PYP schools around the world, but in lots of other schools as well, because lots of schools realise the importance of family, school and home all working together to help the student to learn.
How many times a school year do we have a three-way conference?
We have the one three-way conference, and we have the student-led conference as well in April, when the student takes control and shows their parents all they've learnt and the progress of their learning during the course of the year.
What do you hope students and parents will learn from the three-way conference?
Hopefully they'll learn how their child's progressed during the year, and it gives the student a chance to reflect on how much they've learnt during the course of the year, but also helps them to think forward and what's helped them to learn that and how they can learn even better as the year goes on.
Thank you, Mr. Pinchbeck, and this is Earl reporting back to the studios.
Here is a pre-assembly interview for the 4.2 assembly.
Hello, I'm Kira, and today I'm going to be interviewing Ms. Rehu about their upcoming assembly. Oh, and today I'm going to be interviewing Ms. Rehu about the assembly that they're going to put on this Friday. So, Ms. Rehu, what is your assembly going to be about?
This week, grade 4.2 are going to be putting on an assembly about our current unit of inquiry, which is sharing the planet. They're going to be showing some of the things they've been doing in argument writing and persuasive writing about our responsible waste management, which is our unit, and they're also going to be sharing some skits to show irresponsible and responsible waste management.
Thank you. Think it'll fill up the whole assembly slot, or it'll leave a bit extra?
So at the moment, our class presentation is going to be around, I think it's going to take about 15 minutes. Okay, so I don't think we're going to have a lot of extra time to be doing other things, as we all know that Mr. Pinchbeck also has the birthday song and the awards to do as well.
Okay. So, how many skits are you going to put on?
The students have organised themselves into groups, and currently there is 5 skits that will take place during the assembly, and they've also come up with some reasons about responsible waste management that they've been working on in pairs. So there's lots of group things going on and lots of teamwork and group decision making happening as well.
Okay, so do you think your audience will like your assembly?
I think they're going to love our assembly.
Thank you. I would like to thank Ms. Rehu for answering those questions about her assembly, and I'll be looking forward to 4.2's upcoming assembly. This is ISS News Crew Kira signing out.
Next up, we have the math day results and a bit of the announcement at assembly.
Interviewing Mr. Nathan on the results on Math Day. Surprised that Newton won?
I wasn't surprised that Newton won. I guess I was a little bit happy that Newton won because I know that Somerset have won the past two events, so it was nice to see a different team win and to challenge Somerset a little bit.
So when is the next house event and what is it about?
So the next house event on a Friday afternoon where we're doing a whole schoolhouse event will be not until January 15th, I think. So that's quite a little while, but I do know that there are some grade 4 students who are planning a pop art challenge. They're going to be talking about that probably in assembly this Friday, and the winners and people who enter that will be able to get some house points for their team.
Okay, so what was the best thing about Math Day?
So Math Day, we had some challenges because of the weather and the haze, so we had to be inside even though we wanted to do it outside. But it still worked really, really well. And actually, it was probably in some ways better because it meant that everybody got more turns at rolling the dice because there were less people doing the activity rather than being outside in a whole grade level.
So what are the scores right now?
So we can see behind us the scores here. These were the scores before Math Day. I need to change them for after Math Day, but you can see Somerset were quite a long way ahead, but because Newton won and they got 100 points, they're going to move all the way up here to 225. Somerset will be on 250, so Somerset will still be in front, but just by 25 points. Raffles, we're going to move up, I think, 75 points to 175, and Orchard are moving up 25 points to 100. So at the moment, it's still Somerset in front, just by a little bit, then Newton, then Raffles, then Orchard, but Newton are not so far behind anymore.
So thank you, Mr. Nathan, for your time.
No worries. Thanks, Samir.
Somerset and Newton's points are so close. Just 25 points, that's close. Well, a big thank you to Mr. Nathan for his time. Back to the studio.
5 points to Orchard's total. We're going to add 50 house points to Somerset, 75 house points to go to Raffles, and 100 to Newton. So, if we remember back, this is what it looked like before the activity. This was before the dice tower. Orchard are getting 25 points, so they're going to go up to 100. Raffles are getting 75 points. They're going to go to 175. Okay, we're adding 150, which means that...
Finally, we have an interview about the grade 2's UOI.
Hi, my name is James, and I'm reporting about the Grade 2's UOI. Let's go over for an exclusive interview with Miss Cass. All right, so I'm going to be interviewing, so I have 4 questions for you. First question, what is your unit called?
Our unit is how we organize ourselves.
All right, thank you. Second question, what is the central idea?
The central idea is exchange systems help our community.
Thank you. Thank you. What have you done so far in this unit?
Oh, we've had a very busy time. We have done all sorts of types of exchanging. So we've thought about the exchange that happens every day when we return our reading books and we get a new one. We've thought about when we go to the shops and we buy something, we exchange money for goods. We looked at all different kinds of currencies from different places in the world and talked a little bit about why they look different and how they're not all worth the same things. Yeah, we're doing quite a lot of things this term.
Thank you. Now, I'm moving on to the 4th question. What part of the unit have the students been most excited about so far?
Well, we have a swap shop in our classroom where the children brought in items from home that they didn't want anymore, didn't play with, and we put them in our classroom, and then they got to exchange them. So we had a swap shop, and this helped us learn about exchanging because we were physically doing it, and also about value, how things were worth different values to different people. So we had to come up with some guidelines for our system to work, and I think that was one of the most enjoyable things we've done so far for this unit.
Very interesting. This is James reporting about the Grade 2's UOY. Back to the studio.
This is Evangelina and Jack from ISS News Group signing out.